Continuing from where we left off previously, we now want to split scene 1 and scene 2 into their own files, okay, and then create another empty file and link these two scenes together. So we'll now be learning about Blender's appending and linking data features. Okay, so let me open up a new session. Okay, and I'll just delete these objects. Okay, now let's go to file, and you'll notice this link and append. So first off, we are going to append scene 1 from the edit scenes file. Okay, we are appending because we want to copy, okay, make a copy of it. So append and click on edit scenes. Okay, since we are in link append mode, when I click on this file name, we go inside the Blender database. Okay, so as you can see, Blender is organizing its data into different folders. So I want to append scene 1. Okay, this file contains 3 scenes, so they are displayed. So I want to append scene 1. Okay, and link and append. Okay, now I can delete this scene, and there you go, we have scene 1. Okay, with all the animation and the world, okay, and everything. Okay, now I will save this as scene 1. Okay, and I'll also compress the file when saving. Okay, save as Blender file. Okay, so this is our scene 1 file. So if you go to a camera view, you'll notice the animation. Okay, so this scene has its own render settings. Okay, so it's using this camera for rendering, and then it's using this particular world. Okay, and these render settings. Okay, cool. So let me open up another file and then do the same thing for scene 2. So append. Since we recently used the append feature, Blender is still remembering it because we have not closed Blender. That's good. So scene 2, and delete this default scene, and there you go. Okay, our animation camera, view all. Okay, so similarly, this scene has its own render settings and render camera. Okay, um, so let me save this file. File, save as scene 2. Okay, let me show you one more feature. Okay, say I want to start with scene 1 and then increment the number. So you see this plus and minus here, you can use them and to increment. I'm going to compress the file and save. Okay, cool. Okay, now we want to use the scene 1 and 2, okay, and link them into the edit scene. We want to link because we don't want to change any of this data. Okay, so let's look at that. So let me open up a new scene, and I'll call this scene as edit and delete all these objects. So I basically, okay, Control Z to undo. I basically selected all the objects by using the A key. So A key works as a toggle. Okay, and then press the X key to delete. Now instead of append, I'm going to link. Okay, so link. Now I need to go up and choose the scene1 file and the scene. Okay, this time I'm linking. So link. Okay, so you'll notice the scene1 has been added. Okay, but it's linked, which means see, all the linked objects are displayed in a different color. Okay, and you'll also notice if you look at the object properties, it's all grayed out. Okay, so we cannot edit this data. Okay, so that's the whole point of linking. Okay, in future sessions we are going to look at how to unlink and edit locally. Okay, but for now all linked data cannot be edited. Okay, similarly for the camera, if you look at the camera data, okay, all this is okay, cool. So we have scene one. Let's link scene two as well. Go up, scene two, scene, there you go, link and append. Okay, so scene two, view all. Okay, now let's rearrange this a bit. Okay, so I want this to be the sequence editor. Okay, displaying the frames, and let's switch to the edit scene now. Okay, all right. And I want the outliner over here, so this becomes the outliner. Okay, to move this header over here, you can always right click, flip to top. Okay, but you can always press F5 key while the mouse is on the header to toggle the direction of this. So this is very nice. Okay, so now we are displaying the current scene and then the linked scenes. So as you can see, the linked scenes are displayed with a different icon. Okay, cool. Yep, let me save this file, save as. I'll call this edit and compress and save it. Okay, so now we need to just recreate the sequence strips. So there's no way to copy over the sequence strips from the previous file, at least that I know of. Okay, so I'm going to recreate them. So shift A, scene, and then add this. Okay, so I'll move it to frame number 1. Okay, I'm pressing the G key and moving the mouse and clicking the mouse, and then I'll shift A, scene 2, I'll move it frame number 25. Okay, and in fact yeah, I'll make space and switch to this mode. Okay, so now we can see both the output of the sequence editor and also the sequence strips in one go. Okay, there you go, our animation. And select these two strips and then add okay, select these two strips and then add effect called wipe. Okay, so you can see the effect strip was added. Okay, um, just to make sure they're added, let's switch the outliner. Okay, I want to grow the outliner, so I'm going to click drag this Okay, these two are aligned. Now I can click, move the mouse up and then down to create a longer outliner. Okay, let me switch to the sequence strips view. There you go. We have sequence scene 1 strip, scene 2 strip, and then the wipe strip. Okay, so with the wipe strip selected, I'm going to press the G key, move it up, and then right click on the left handle of scene 2 and press the G key and move it. So now we have okay, a transition. So I'll select this, view the properties, and make it into a double, and then increase the blur width. Okay, so we are back to where we have started. Okay, cool. So that's this process. Also, you can create multiple outliners displaying different data. Okay, so just click and drag. Okay, so this will display the sequences and this will display all the scenes. Okay, so this is a nice way of displaying data. Okay, so let me save this file. Cool. Now let's render out this whole okay sequence out. So this is a total of 48 frames. So let me set the frames 48. Okay, you can also create a timeline, create a timeline, and then you can set the settings from here also, like 50, so it'll update. Okay, you can also do it from here. Okay, and frame all. Yeah, you can press the home key, okay, to fit the preview in the window. And if you press the home key while in the sequence strip view, you can frame them. Okay, scroll the mouse, press the home. Okay, so let's render this out to disk. So to do that, um, I'll choose the output. I want to render in the same directory, so 2 slashes, and then I'll name this as edit. Okay, edit underscore, and then I'll render in HD. Okay, there are different encoding parameters and sampling parameters. Oh, sorry, encoding parameters that you can choose. Cool. So now let's just render it out. So now this will use the actual render and render the scene out. Okay, so it may take its own time. Okay, but if you look in the shell, you'll notice the frames are being created. Yeah, so cool. So that's how you create sequences. Okay, I'll show you a few other ways of creating viewport renders and linking them together in certain case study videos I'll be recording. Okay, but that concludes this part. Okay, um, cool. So let me just save this. Okay, cool. So just to recap, we have created 3 different files now. Okay, scene 1 file, scene 2 file, and then the edit file, and then linked scene 1 and scene 2 in this edit file. Okay, thanks.